Former CEO Dave Calhoun recently made remarks regarding Boeing's corporate culture that have generated considerable discussion within the aviation industry. While the details of his statements are yet to be fully disclosed, the repercussions of his comments are unmistakable. Calhoun's insights have ignited a vigorous debate, suggesting potential internal challenges that may have significantly contributed to Boeing's most prominent failures. As we explore this matter further, we will reveal the seriousness of his assertions and their possible implications for one of the largest aircraft manufacturers in history. Calhoun assumed leadership of Boeing in January 2020, following the tumultuous period under his predecessor, Dennis Muhlenberg. With a background at General Electric and Neyland Holdings, Calhoun was expected to provide a steady hand to guide Boeing through its challenging times. His extensive experience in managing large corporations was anticipated to introduce stability and a new perspective to Boeing's leadership. Prior to his tenure at Boeing, Calhoun achieved notable success at General Electric, where he held various leadership positions, including vice chairman, overseeing a diverse array of businesses. His time as CEO at Neyland Holdings was marked by effective navigation through a transformative growth phase, experiences that sharpened his skills in crisis management, strategic planning, and organizational restructuring capabilities that would prove essential at Boeing. Upon taking charge, Calhoun confronted monumental challenges, as Boeing was still in the process of recovering from the tragic 737 MAX crashes, which resulted in the loss of 346 lives and the grounding of the aircraft. The company's global reputation suffered significant harm, leading to escalating financial losses. The crashes were attributed to design deficiencies in the aircraft's flight control system, compounded by inadequate oversight. Boeing faced legal action from the families of crash victims, as well as increased scrutiny from the FAA and international aviation authorities. Additionally, various airlines initiated lawsuits against the company due to delayed deliveries and operational setbacks. From the outset, Calhoun emphasized his commitment to restoring Boeing's reputation, prioritizing safety and transparency. His approach involved addressing internal challenges, beginning with the company's problematic corporate culture. He instituted comprehensive changes, including leadership restructuring and enhanced quality control measures. Calhoun aimed to demonstrate that Boeing was not only rectifying technical issues but also tackling the underlying problems that had contributed to these crises. With decades of leadership experience, he recognized that Boeing required more than superficial solutions; it needed a fundamental cultural shift to avert future disasters. He revamped the management structure, improved communication with regulators such as the FAA, and underscored the importance of safety and transparency in all operations. His initiatives to rebuild trust were crucial for Boeing's survival, yet questions remained: could these reforms genuinely reverse the damage? How had Boeing's corporate culture led to such catastrophic failures, and would Calhoun's changes suffice to remedy the situation? In June 2024, during a Senate hearing, Dave Calhoun candidly acknowledged that Boeing's culture was far from ideal. This situation represented a significant development, marking a rare instance of transparency from a prominent corporation. Calhoun's assertion regarding Boeing's imperfect culture raises important questions about the implications of these issues on the company's operations. His remarks indicated that the challenges faced by Boeing were not merely isolated incidents but rather indicative of deeper systemic problems. He recognized that the organization had been grappling with a culture that failed to adequately prioritize safety and transparency. The emphasis on cost reduction and accelerated production often eclipsed the necessity for stringent safety protocols. This became particularly apparent following the 737 MAX crashes, which highlighted these underlying issues. At the heart of these cultural deficiencies was a concerning trend: Boeing's excessive focus on meeting deadlines and financial objectives sometimes compromised safety. Reports emerged indicating that engineers and staff felt compelled to ignore potential issues or hastily conduct essential inspections. This high-pressure environment was not a trivial concern; it was a fundamental factor contributing to Boeing's significant challenges. While Calhoun's acknowledgement represented a vital move towards reform, it also prompted several inquiries. What specific cultural shortcomings did he recognize? How had these shortcomings influenced Boeing's daily operations and overall safety standards? One prominent issue was the absence of open communication. When employees felt unable to voice safety concerns or report procedural shortcomings, problems remained unaddressed. This atmosphere fostered a scenario where mistakes were neither openly discussed nor rectified, ultimately leading to more significant complications in the future. Another critical issue: the emphasis on speed and cost efficiency over thoroughness in an industry where safety is of utmost importance was destined to result in complications. Boeing's efforts to adhere to stringent deadlines often led to the hasty or complete neglect of essential safety protocols. Calhoun's recognition of these issues marked a crucial initial step toward addressing them, indicating his readiness to confront the uncomfortable realities surrounding Boeing's internal challenges. The question remains whether this acknowledgement will result in substantial changes or if it merely signifies the beginning of a longer journey. The true depth of Boeing's cultural deficiencies became glaringly apparent through a series of tragic events, most notably the two fatal crashes of the 737 MAX in October 2018 and March 2019, which resulted in the loss of 346 lives. These incidents were not isolated but rather indicative of a wider pattern of operational shortcomings. The crashes of Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 served as harrowing reminders of the critical nature of safety in aviation. Investigations revealed that both accidents were associated with issues in the aircraft's flight control system, specifically the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, MCAS. This software, intended to prevent stalling, malfunctioned and repeatedly forced the aircraft's nose downward, despite pilots' efforts to regain control. These design flaws were exacerbated by insufficient pilot training and a lack of clear communication regarding the system's associated risks. The aftermath of these crashes highlighted significant deficiencies in Boeing's oversight and transparency. It became evident that the company faced serious challenges in ensuring safety and accountability. Boeing has been criticized for downplaying or neglecting safety concerns raised by engineers and other employees. Internal documents and whistleblower accounts have indicated that the company was aware of potential issues with the MCAS system but did not adequately address them. Additionally, Boeing's interactions with regulators were characterized by a lack of transparency, with critical information sometimes being withheld or misrepresented, further eroding trust and safety. The challenges associated with the 737 MAX were not the sole issues affecting Boeing. Quality control failures and safety oversights became increasingly evident. Reports emerged detailing lapses in manufacturing processes, including late or out-of-specification parts deliveries. These quality concerns highlighted broader systemic issues within the organization, reflecting a culture that prioritized speed and cost over thoroughness and safety. The repercussions of these crises extended beyond Boeing, as airlines worldwide experienced significant operational disruptions due to the global grounding of the 737 maximum. The financial impact was substantial, with Boeing facing billions in losses from legal settlements, production delays, and the grounding of its flagship aircraft. The public's perception of Boeing as a trusted and reliable aircraft manufacturer suffered greatly, leading to intense scrutiny from regulators, lawmakers, and the global aviation community. The crises faced by the company were not merely isolated incidents, they were indicative of deeper cultural and systemic problems within the organization. MAX's design highlights a significant lack of transparency in addressing safety issues and failures in quality control, which indicate a more extensive problem within Boeing's corporate culture. The company's internal environment, which has historically favored profit over safety, has played a crucial role in these catastrophic failures. This situation prompts an examination of the measures taken to rectify these failures and how they influence the company's recovery and reform strategies. To comprehend the reasons behind Boeing's severe troubles, it is essential to explore the systemic issues that allowed these challenges to develop and intensify. Central to Boeing's difficulties was an unyielding drive for profit, often at the cost of safety. The company's emphasis on cost reduction and accelerated production resulted in compromises regarding quality and safety. For example, the development of the 737 MAX was propelled by the necessity to compete with Airbus's A320neo, placing Boeing under pressure to rapidly deliver a new aircraft. This urgency led to cost-cutting strategies, such as minimizing the number of test flights and reducing pilot training, which ultimately jeopardized the aircraft's safety. The culture of cutting corners at Boeing was not confined to a single project, rather, it reflected a broader systemic issue. Reports from whistleblowers and internal documents have uncovered a widespread culture that prioritized meeting deadlines and financial targets over conducting comprehensive safety checks. Employees experienced significant pressure to achieve performance metrics, resulting in a scenario where safety concerns were often overlooked. The environment was frequently overlooked or insufficiently addressed, resulting in a fertile ground for problems to escalate without proper oversight. A significant factor contributing to this situation was the lack of a strong system for holding individuals accountable. When issues arose, there was a tendency to deflect responsibility rather than confront them directly. This absence of accountability meant that errors and oversights were not properly corrected, allowing systemic problems to endure. The culture of shifting blame hindered corrective measures and perpetuated a cycle of failure. Leadership decisions were also pivotal in the crisis. The previous management's emphasis on profitability and market share, combined with a failure to adequately respond to emerging safety concerns, set the stage for the crisis. The choice to expedite the 737 MAX's market introduction without fully resolving known issues was a significant error. Furthermore, ineffective communication among management, engineers, and regulatory bodies intensified the challenges faced. The systemic issues at Boeing were closely linked to its corporate culture, which prioritized financial performance over safety and quality. This culture manifested in various operational aspects, from aircraft design and testing to interactions with regulators, creating a toxic environment where problems were allowed to fester, ultimately leading to the tragic outcomes witnessed in the aftermath of Boeing's crisis. In response, Dave Calhoun and his team have initiated a comprehensive overhaul to tackle these deeply rooted issues. Boeing's leadership has acknowledged the seriousness of the challenges facing the company and has initiated a series of reforms aimed at transforming its corporate culture and rebuilding trust. However, the effectiveness of these measures and the future trajectory of Boeing remain uncertain. A key focus of these reform efforts has been to tackle the significant safety concerns that emerged during the 737 MAX crisis. Under Calhoun's direction, Boeing has implemented more stringent safety protocols and enhanced oversight throughout the aircraft development process. This includes improved quality control measures, stricter testing requirements, and better training for employees. Furthermore, Boeing has made strides in increasing transparency with regulators, ensuring that safety issues are addressed in a timely and comprehensive manner. Another essential component of the reform strategy is the transformation of Boeing's corporate culture. Calhoun has emphasized the necessity of fostering a culture that prioritizes safety and quality over financial performance. This cultural shift aims to create an environment where employees feel safe to voice concerns without fear of retaliation. To support this, Boeing has introduced programs designed to promote open communication and accountability, with the goal of rebuilding trust both internally and with external stakeholders. Recognizing the critical role of leadership in shaping corporate culture, Boeing has also made significant changes to its management structure. Calhoun has restructured the leadership team, bringing in new executives who are committed to safety, transparency, and ethical leadership. This restructuring is a vital step in the company's ongoing efforts to restore its reputation and ensure a safer future. Boeing is undertaking a significant cultural transformation from the leadership level, aiming to integrate new values and priorities throughout the organization. The company has made strides in enhancing its engagement with stakeholders, including customers, regulators, and the general public. To rebuild relationships with airlines, Boeing has launched outreach initiatives that provide regular updates on safety enhancements and demonstrate a commitment to rectifying previous errors through transparent stakeholder engagement. The objective is to restore confidence and affirm the company's dedication to long-term improvement. As Boeing implements these changes, a pivotal question arises: are these measures adequate to resolve the systemic issues that precipitated the crisis? Assessing the effectiveness of these reforms will require time, as the company must prove that its new safety protocols are not only established but also adhered to diligently. Furthermore, it is essential to evaluate whether the cultural shifts are fostering a more responsible and transparent operational atmosphere. Looking forward, Boeing must maintain the momentum of its reform initiatives while navigating a competitive and dynamic aviation landscape. The company's capacity to uphold these changes and continue rebuilding trust will be vital for its long-term success. The path toward a safer and more transparent Boeing is ongoing, and the success of the recent reforms will be crucial in determining the company's ability to fully recover from its past shortcomings. Dave Calhoun's leadership at Boeing has been characterized by a significant journey through a series of substantial challenges and necessary reforms, from acknowledging the deep flaws within Boeing's corporate culture to implementing extensive safety and leadership changes. However, the effectiveness of these changes is not yet fully realized as Boeing continues to navigate these changes. The question remains, will Boeing's ongoing efforts be sufficient to reshape its corporate culture and restore its reputation? Only time will tell. What are your thoughts on Boeing's journey and its future? Share your views in the comments below.